Bernie, this is the second part of training here today, fitting the entrance door lock.
Yep.
So this is obviously a simulated door. It's a real door, but the process is going to be the same. So we need to establish a height. So I'm just going to pick a nominal height here. This height really doesn't mean anything. I'm just going to work through the steps here. I'll explain them as I go, and you'll be able to check on your checklist there.
Yep.
That I'm following these steps. So if at any point you've got any queries,
yep,
just sing out. Okay, so I've marked my height. I square the line around. Now we're going to be using the same maps that we were looking at there in the first part of the session. Really important to check the back set, which is 60 mil. So we mark that measurement on the door. At the same time, while you've got your ruler out, mark that face of the door for the centre as well. So I've just done it the same way we did over there before.
yep,
I haven't done a measurement and divided by 2. I've just scribed the blade of the ruler. I've got a train track and I'll be in the middle. So we've got a drill that's already set up here with a drill bit. This is a hole saw bit. So I'll just follow the procedure that I said there before, Bernie. So I'm going to drill this through. The idea when you're drilling is you want that drill to be level. You don't want to be pointing to the sky. See there that the end of the drill bit's come through.
yep,
And it's come through right on the mark.
yep,
So if you step around this side here and stand back and have a look, you can see that the drill's actually quite level.
yep,
And that's how you want it to be done.
yeah, sure.
So this is really good practice for any time that you're drilling. Bring those feet out a little bit. Now just replicate the process. Okay, so if you have a look at that hole, you'll see there, the first hole lines up the second. You run your fingers around that.
Yep.
Now, if your drill bit comes out the side of the door where you've got it marked, you know you're on the right path.
Yep.
So that's part 1. So there's no turning back now, Bernie. You've got a hole in the door, mate. It's full steam ahead now. That's where the door lock's going to go.
Yep.
And if you any need out, pick it up and make sure it lines up.
Yep.
Which it does.
Yep.
That's a good little reference, especially when you're starting out. To make sure you're on the right path. A battery drill is going to be strong enough to drill this hole here. So you can see here the 2 lines that I've got marked.
Yep.
line up the centre. Same thing, drills nice and level, square to the door. Through there. So what should happen is your latch should slide through. Of course we can't fit it there like that, we've got to mortise that in so that it's nice and flush, these points. So the way we want to do that is you'll need to position the latch centrally on that style and then just scribe with your pen or pencil.
Does it matter which way it's facing?
It won't, but it's good practice to have it facing the right way. But for the purpose of this training exercise, it won't matter.
Yep.
Okay, so chisels. So when you're doing this bit here, there's a bit of a trick to this. You don't want to take too much out.
Yeah.
You can always take more if you haven't taken enough. So what I'd always say is only just take the line off versus trying to go too big. Because if you water it, it won't grow. So the thing you'll notice there is when the chisel's going in the way that the blade's faced.
Yeah.
So
Flat edge on the.
flat edge to the outside.
Yeah.
What I'll always do, Bernie, when I'm doing these is I'll take out the bulk of it first. I'll get the latch back in. And you probably always want to find there's a little bit more to come out. Just a light tap. Now, depending on what the finish is, you can use a block. So that doesn't need a heap more out. I've got that pretty close, but that's just practice. Okay, so that's pretty close. So if you come around this side here, you can see that that's in there and it's nice and flush. Yeah. Then it's just a matter of getting our screws in. Same situation, Bernie, with these, you want to get that screw, just line it up with the middle.
Yep.
And these are self-tapping screws, so you won't need a pilot hole in this case. Screw those in there. Now, obviously you've got your key side, your latch side. Key side will go on the outside, which will be on the opposite side of that latch. Yep. Then you've got your two screws. The screws are on the inside. You just line those up. So this part can be a little bit fiddly. It's just a matter of getting those screws started. Once you've got them started, it's just a matter of tightening them up. So your screwdriver is going to be on a little bit of an angle. Okay, so once it's on, check it, always check it, and it should spring back freely. Flick the switch, it should be locked. This lock here, it won't open from the inside, some of them will, the ones that spring out.
Yeah.
And that's effectively the process.
Yeah. If it doesn't come out freely, what do I have to do to fix that?
If it doesn't come out freely, what your checklist would probably be going all the way back to the start.
Yeah.
Have you drilled your hole at 60 mil?
Yeah.
If you're a little bit out, if you're 55 mil, it's going to be a little bit tight.
Yeah.
And it's going to put pressure on that internal mechanism inside the lock, which will mean that it's not going to turn as freely.
Sure.
But if you follow probably the first 3 steps on that checklist, get your marks correct, drill your holes nice and square and level, you're pretty right. The other trick that can come into play is if you're drilling this particular hole here, you might have this hole in the right spot, it might be perfect.
Yeah.
But if your drill's on an angle, it's going to put pressure on it when you lock them in, try and get them to work together.
Yeah, okay.
So really important to try and keep that level.
Yep.
And through the middle of the door. So that's an example, mate. How confident you feel?
Yeah, I should be able to do that.
All right, fantastic. Okay, well I'll take this off and we'll get you set up and you can have a go.
All right.
That's all right. All right, Bernie. Yep. Your turn, mate.
No worries.
Okay, so height for your door is going to be 1 metre off the bottom of the door.
Yep, sure.
That's it there. So you just want to square that all around on all 3 faces.
Yep.
And before you rule that line all the way across, always just start it, just twist that in there, flat.
Yep.
Just make sure your 2 lines line up first.
Yep.
Yep, that's pretty good. And you want to be going, you want that line to be at least the distance of your back set on your lock.
Yep. I haven't actually set the measurement.
That's okay. So if you can extend your square line, and then if you like, you can use a ruler. There's a couple of ways of doing it. The way you do it there, that's fine as well.
Yeah, so that should be set to 60.
60 mil. That's it. So you want to have an X there, so you want X marks the spot.
Yeah.
And you just want to, before you drill it, I'd always recommend just confirm that that is going to line up.
Yeah, it's in the middle.
Yep.
That one might be a bit.
Okay, so if it doesn't look like it aligns, your 60 mil is the measurement.
Yeah.
So I would just check your mark with the ruler off the face of the door.
Yep.
So the more time you spend at this point,
Yep.
getting this right, and then when you drill those holes, potential for issues down the track when you come and fit that lock with it binding, you'll eliminate those.
Yep. Yeah, that's better.
Okay. And then if you just mark the centre of the door face there where the latch is going to go. Yep. That's good.
So you do that one first.
That's right. So now when you drill this, just what are the things that you need to be mindful of here?
Keeping it straight.
Yep.
Keeping it level, I mean.
Yes.
Not going all the way through, so just go through till the drill bit pokes through.
Yep.
And then doing it the other way until it completely goes through.
Just get you to hold that for a moment.
Yep. That'd be spinning in there if it's not tight, won't it?
Have a look. I'll just have a look at that. I'll just lock that. Lock that in. Okay, that's good to go. So we'll just make sure we've got that PPE on too. Oh, yeah. So the key here is to let the drill do all the work.
Yep.
And try and keep that drill nice and level. So you want to drop your back end down there a bit. Yes, that's pretty good. Hold there. Just hold there. So when you're drilling that through,
I saw it move right, so I tried to move it back left.
that's okay.
Yep.
You just want to make sure that when it starts cutting through the door that it's even and it's not on an angle.
Okay.
And that'll give you an idea. So your back sort of comes down a little bit. Yep. Pull it down a little bit more. Bit more. Yep. Just a little bit of pressure on that drill. A little bit more pressure, forward pressure on that drill.
Yep.
Good. Just pull that drill out of it a little bit, back and forth, clean those flutes, that's it. Good. Now if you come back, pull that out. So if you come around this side here, you can see where you are in relation to your mark.
Yeah, I missed it.
So you've come down a little bit low.
Yeah.
That's okay. Really important now when you do the next one, that you come through
Straight.
at the top. So the more times that you're doing this, the better you'll get. And that's a good guide.
Yeah.
So you can see where you are. Now what you'll find is when you start drilling that, it's going to find that other hole.
That's what it's done, it's just kicked into the other hole.
Okay, that's good.
If I can see where it started, it should be up there a little bit more.
That's okay. I drill that hole there.
Just finish the one that's...
Finish where you are, straight through.
Alright.
Well done. That might be a little bit hot.
Yeah, no, it's alright.
Okay. So one of the things you can do here, Bernie, is you'll be able to see the centre of that hole. And I've got that ruler out on 60 mil.
Yeah.
So even though you've come through a little bit off,
Yeah.
it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
The other one is if you run your fingers through there where the two holes meet each other, it's not dissimilar to the one that I've drilled.
Yeah.
So you are on the right track there. So we'll just move on to the next part now. Yeah,
Should be bad.
that's good. How'd you find that
Yeah, that's alright.
with the drill?
I
It
think
takes a little bit of
getting down lower
practice.
sort of makes it easier to see if it's level or not,
Yeah,
rather than typing it. I suppose it shows me the importance of getting it right the first time.
yeah, it's all practice.
Because once I wanted to find that other hole, there wasn't really much I could do to fight against it.
No. Once you've got that through there, and the flight path's been set, it's very hard to change. So yeah.
No worries. Alright, that's it.
So you're comfortable with this bit here? What needs to happen here?
Yep, keep it straight.
Keep it straight.
Just slow and steady until it breaks through into the middle.
That's there. Righto, that's good. So you can see here, if you were to drill that hole first,
Yep.
and you would then try to put this one through,
Yeah.
your pilot hole's got nothing to go into,
Yeah, okay.
so it won't work. So you always drill that one first.
I reckon I've done that offside too.
With yours?
It's a bit off to the right.
That's okay.
So the next bit's the chiseling.
So what you'll need to do is scribe that. So if you were to centre that up evenly in the door, that's good.
You don't want to put pressure on it though.
Yeah, so as long as you're parallel with that door,
Yeah.
post fade, yeah, that's it.
Because at that point, I'd be putting pressure on it, trying to make it in the centre or no, instead of just going with what's happened.
What you've done there is pretty good. that's good. Just trace those lines around. So you'll always cut those ones first because when you come to chisel this out,
Yep.
it will split and it'll only split to your lines.
Yep. Have I gone deep enough there? It's only about a mil or so.
You could probably give it another tap. Okay, so when you go to do that one,
Yep.
you have a look at the latch there, the depth.
Yep.
So you don't need to be super deep.
Okay.
It's yep, that's good. So you've got the chisel the right way, which is good.
That's because I've got a chip on the chisel. Maybe if I go back up that way.
No, come back down to your score mark. Yep. So now that you've taken that out, if that's not deep enough, just run it
Oh,
over.
it's just because of the chip in the middle of the chisel's great advantage. On that bit there.
Probably not too bad there. But I think what I'd do now is probably just check it with that latch.
Yep.
So what you can do,
Haven't gone wide enough on the
that's okay, so just line it up and then with your hammer, just give that latch a tap and what you'll find is it's going to score the tip of the latch. Just a light tap, doesn't have to be super hard. Yep, that's good. Now you pull that out, you'll be able to see where it's marked.
Yep.
So these are the areas that are going to need a little bit more, and if you have a look at the latch, you can see why.
Yeah.
Because they do stick out a little bit more.
Okay. Shouldn't be able to see them at all, eh? Probably still needs to be a bit
Yeah,
more
you can
aggressive.
go. You can always go a little bit deeper there.
There we go, that one got it.
Yep, that's looking good. There's the latch. Yeah, so it's just one of those ones. You get a feel for your chisels, how much you're taking out at any given time and what depth you need to be. Just give that another tap with your hammer. That doesn't look too bad. And then just top one. Just give it a tap in the middle without hitting your fingers.
Like on that.
Yeah, just on the side. Yep, in there. Yep. Yep. Good. What do we got? A little bit more. the middle.
Oh, okay, I'm not giving it enough attention.
So, just a little bit more. So what you need to be doing here with that chisel is just tilt it a little bit more like that, and it'll pair that off. So hold on about that angle. And then you just go there. It's good. What you'll probably find, just have a go at that.
Not too bad.
That's getting pretty close. I think you could probably get a couple of screws in that. So that's up, it'll take us a little bit of pressure and they should screw in.
Yep.
Once you get them started, I'll just go, yeah, that's it. That's good. That's good, so have a look at that. Yeah, that's pulled in really well. Okay. The next part.
Goodness, so is that meant to be in the middle?
Yep. That's the inside, that's the outside. That's right, so do the outside first. So the other trick with that there, doing is you want to see which way the key's going. So I'll just take this out.
Oh, yeah.
You can see here.
Yep.
You probably want the key that way.
Okay.
So it won't affect the way the lock functions. And you just line those up. Now the trick is just to get those two screws in on the inside, just get them started.
Yep.
Rather than try and tighten one up fully first. So it's a little bit fiddly. So yeah, once you get them started, you should be right.
Yeah, I just did it there.
Got in? They're tricky little suckers.
Just missed it. That one's in.
That one's in. Just pull that back. You'll be able to sight that through. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's it. Because you're on the angle, the deeper you can finger tighten it before you get the screwdriver on it.
It's in now.
So you really give a bit of pressure on the back of that door. that's it.
Perfect.
It's good. So tighten that one up, probably as tight as you can. That's pretty good. And then just have a test of that lock. Just turn it, let it go, let it spring. You want to check the, yep, lock from the outside, lock from the inside. Yep, all nice and flush. It's a good job. How'd you find that?
Yeah, I've just got to practice making sure it's level when I do it, and I'll probably have fewer issues.
No, that's really well done.
Before the drill skips off in a different direction as well.
So the procedure here, it's going to be exactly the same every time. So this checklist here, I'll leave that with you after today. You can take that with you. Every time you come to do one, be a good reference point would to be pull this out and check it. And you're working through those steps. You know, identify your lock, identify what tools you need in your workspace. Have a look at what safety issues there are around the task that you're going to perform. And then actually perform the task. But you can work through this checklist to do that. And this checklist, you could use a similar thing on different aspects of work that you're doing here on site as well. But really well done.
Alright, thanks.
Any questions?
No, it's I think it's pretty straightforward. Just executing it. So practice,
Awesome. Thank you.
All good, thank you.